Hello and welcome. Welcome to the Earth, Sea, Love podcast. This podcast is for and about women of colour and our relationship with nature. Hosted by me, Sheree Mack. The Earth, Sea, Love podcast is committed to exploring the experiences of women of colour with Mother Nature. We want to provide spaces where the hidden voices in the environmental and conservation conversations can explore their relationship with the natural world. Inspired by our time spent outdoors, we amplify the voices of women of colour, our stories, our conversations, interviews, photography, writing, and artwork. We'll be exploring our legacies, histories, and memories which have had an influence and effect upon how we perceive ourselves within the natural world and within the environmental and climate justice movements. Welcome to the Earth, Sea, Love podcast. The Earth, Sea, Love podcast has been made possible by the funding from National Lottery Heritage Fund. Thank you. And good morning and welcome back to the Earth, Sea, Love podcast. And I come to you in the thick of it. It's half term here, and so if there's any background noise, I apologise. But I've got to fit these things in as and when. So we've just come back from the sea. Last week I managed to get in Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and with this week being half term, it was curtailed a bit, but I knew by yesterday that I needed to get back in. So I said to Miss Ella, yesterday, okay, tomorrow it's the sea, we're in early. You can bring your iPad, whatever, but I'm going in. So that's what we did. And sometimes it's a battle. And today I knew, it's cold. It's cold, it's grey. It's one of those typical autumn mornings. It's been raining. You can see your breath. So here's me, once we get there, knowing it's going to be cold, for Ella to just sit there. So I put my dry robe around her, give her my scarf and my hat, but she resists, throws that down. So in the process, I'm picking it up, and on this bench they have a vase where it's a bench, that remembrance of someone. So I'm bending down, picking up this hat, and my hair locks go into this water. And it was sour water, and then my hair was starting, it smelled awful, as Ella has now said, #sour hair. So I wasn't in the right fettle getting into the sea, and I was thinking, I'm going to have to get it washed or get it wet while in the sea to get rid of that smell. I was thinking, no, that's going to be more hassle. So I put my Dreadscape hat on and I'm going in, and it is cold, but I go straight in and get myself all wet. And then while in there's 3 women, and one of them shouts, "Get that hat off," as if I'm wearing it as some kind of, because I'm weak, or extra warmth or whatever. And I just wanted to say, well, fuck off, it's got nothing to do with you. But I didn't. No, I didn't. I laughingly says, no, this needs to be on as my self-preservation, because to get sand in these locks is so much hassle that I don't need right now. I'd already got sour hair, hashtag sour hair. Now I'm going to get sand hair. No, I mean, like, even glitter. Miss Ella loves her glitter. Getting glitter in my hair, and it's there for months. And I do wash it, but it's there for months. Miss Ella goes to school with one hairstyle, comes back with another. So that means she's had her hair out at school. And I have to remind her, knits are going around at school. Can't bring knits into the house. Knits come into the house, into my locks. It's gone. It all has to be cut off. But this year I think I've relaxed that a bit because there's more deadlier things that could be caught at school this year. So yeah, we haven't had the knits conversation for a while, but I did used to have a number 1 and a 1 inch. I wouldn't even call it was a fro, maybe a skinhead with a little bit of a fringe at the front. Because when we had our first child afterwards, my hair started to fall out. And it was a case of like, let's get rid before it all goes. So I just woke up one morning and went to the barber's and got it all shaved off. And I actually had a small head. I do have a small head and I do all this hair. And so, yeah. So there's some days that I wake up now with my hair all sore-fingered and think, oh, wow, do I have to tame this hair today? And then, the temptation is, to get it all chopped off. I mean, also, I'm in a new phase of my life sort of thing. And they do say you take drastic measures, don't you? If there's been a separation or, yeah, things have come to an end. You need to mark it somehow. So, yeah, the thought has crossed my mind of just shaving it all off. And then there's that fear there. It's like, okay, I'm shaving it all off, and then what's left is this salt and pepper fro, this little fro here, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's an indication of even how old I have become. How vain, yeah. And didn't start off to be my hair story, but you're getting it now. When I was younger, Mum used to brush our hair, and that was it. She used to just brush it with this soft brush, and it would be just on the top layer sort of thing. And like, we were forever wearing bunches because probably our hair had just become locked in one big bunch. But Mum was Mum. She was gentle. She didn't want to hurt us. So let's just brush over the top. And then she had to get a new job that started earlier because my dad had leukemia in remission and then not in remission sort of thing. So they swapped roles. So Mum had to go out to work and he stayed home and looked after us. So the first morning, she went out early to work. Dad said, "Come, let me do your hair." And he did not use no brush. He used a fine tooth comb. Oh my gosh. That morning is imprinted in my brain. It's, the body keeps the score. And that memory is there. It was so painful. He would put his big blue, black, yellow palmed hand on my head or my scalp and then just pull down the hair with this metal fine tooth comb and then just pulling and yanking and getting out all the tats. And I was crying. I was crying for my mum to come back. I was crying for him to stop. And that felt like he was doing that for hours, man. Hours. I thought, oh, well, then I may as well give up going to school today because I'm not going to get there on time. And so he did me, and then he went on to Sharon, but that time he's like, you get yourself to school. So I got to, I slowly went to school because I was still crying. And I can remember I went the long way round across the green field, which was wet. with dew. And I was just like dragging my feet, so all the wetness was going on my shoes and my socks and on my legs. And I remember picking dandelions and, that milky white liquid that comes out of the stalk. I let it touch my skin and I didn't even care if that meant that I wet the bed, as we used to say, because it was just like the whole landscape was just mirroring my mood and my feeling. And it was like I was like being reduced to just water, tears, and like so feeling so sorry for myself and my head hurting. And I just found the water and the tears in the landscape to mirror how I was feeling. And I got to school, right, and like I was early, like they weren't even lined up or whatever, so I had extra time to just skulk around the yard in the rain now and like splash in the puddles or kick the puddles. And it was just such a great day. But I know that since then I went through the rest of my life and I made sure that I never got tatty again, that it never got locked up, that I could always put a brush through it or a comb through it, because I didn't want to go through that pain again until, now. I would like to say like the last, how many years? Maybe 13, 14 years that I've been locking up my hair. And like, there's the idea there of rebelling against my dad, maybe. Like, yeah, if I want my hair locked, I'll have it locked. And there's also that thing about any black woman out there will back me up on this. It's like when we go out into the outside, the air, when it hits our hair and it's out, it natural out, it shrinks it, man. It's like the damp in the air, the wind. Okay, so the wind blows it and it's up like sore fingers, sticks up, doesn't go back down. And then it just shrinks. You might have hair on your shoulder when you go out. And by the time you come back, it's around your ears. So I never used to be able to wear my hair out. It used to have to be in plaits or pinned up or protected in some way. So locking my hair was another way of just being natural, going out there and just letting it hang loose, because, yeah, it gets blown and new bits of hair that hasn't been locked up, they still stand up. But the rest of it, it's like it's sturdy against the weather and the elements. And that's so cool with me. It's like I can just like shake my head and go out. And that was the beauty of just having no hair as well. You could just wash and go. And, like your hair hadn't moved or shrunk in the process of being outside. It was still where it was when you went out the door. So, yeah. But, yeah, when I think about that woman in the sea, it's like she had no idea. I mean, maybe it was my swim cap, dreadscapes, swim cap was an offence to her or something. Like, I can't be a real wild swimmer because I'm wearing my swimming cap. And she likes to go all natural. Well, she had blonde hair and, she could quite easily, go back home, get it washed, get it blow dried. Boom! Nobody would know that she's been in the sea. And it's not quite as easy for me. And maybe I taught her something today. Maybe I educated her today about having locks and the things we have to avoid, or how we have to take care of them, or whatever. So yeah, anyway, this didn't start off to be a hair story, but the sea was good. Let me just say the sea was good. And I think that would probably be the last one of October. And definitely come the next one, I'm going to get my gloves and my boots out. I had them out once in September, I think. It's like, oh yeah. But like the last few times, I've just wanted to drop my coat and get in. And yeah, my extremities have been feeling it, but I know it's going to get a whole lot worse. So I've just been getting myself fired up, but storing up that body memory of, yes, it's cold, but you can do it, and not getting to the point of not getting too complacent, but getting to the point that I weaken myself by thinking, oh, it's so cold and I need my gloves and boots on now. It's a case of like, we can endure a lot more, or our bodies can endure a lot more than we think they can. And it's the mind that gets in the way. Yeah, so I'm very grateful for my body at this moment in time that I can get into the sea. And who knows how long for. I say that. We're in tier 2 at the moment in terms of the British lockdown scenario. The next tier up is tier 3, and that's the most extreme. Why put on that British accent as well? But anyhow, it's tier 3. You know, it is a lockdown again. And I've been talking to people about this a lot recently, and I think that's heightened up my anxiety around the situation. Restaurants and pubs are still open here. Retail, of course, retail is still open, and schools are still open, even though we're on half term, but we're due back on Monday. But if we go into tier 3, the changes that restaurants and pubs will shut down, because I'm really going to all of them in my life. I think I go out for coffee once a week. And that's somewhere I go where I trust. Anyway, so tier 3 maybe, but that's not going to stop me going into the sea, because we've had that scenario before and it didn't work out well for me. So I will continue to go in the sea safely and distanced from other people, even within the sea, even though some people trying to get closer. So yeah, so that's how we are at the moment, tier 2. What else I'd like to say, because this is just a show about me rambling, if you haven't noticed. But the other thing that I wanted to say is this is the last one of October. And yay! We have managed to bring out an episode per week in October. Job done. Yay. And that was important after a hit and miss break, hiatus. And I hope that if you've been listening, that you can see that we've come back strong. And as it stands at the moment, between now and the end of the year, we have five episodes with conversations with me and other women of colour. 5 to drop before the end of the year. And I think that is doable, especially as I like to have December mostly off and away from social media and away from outside commitments or responsibilities. I just like to hygge in place, sort of thing. And this year, I think it's even more important to get into a cozy little nook in home, and just embrace the dark night of my soul. So the aim is to get those 5 episodes dropped. I do have some new conversations that are going to be recorded in November, but as it stands, I think they're going to be coming out in 2021. We are having seasons. The Sea Love podcast is having seasons, so we're going to be finishing season 1 the first week of December, I would say. And then we're going to have a break through the winter and then come back probably in the spring. But we're already setting up conversations that we'll be having with some amazing women. Amazing. We've had some amazing women on already, but, it's just I keep saying it, but this is a gift that just keeps on giving, this podcast. I'm learning so much through it. And yeah, mistakes have been made, and it's such a sharp learning curve. But I think we're getting there, and hopefully when we come back for season 2, that there's more of a proper schedule in place. There's, I don't know, some system that, so everybody knows where they're at within the process, and everybody's happy, because that's the whole point. We want to make sure that everybody's happy, and happy and secure in what we create together, because it is a collaboration, this the podcast. So if there's anyone out there who's listening and think, hey, I'd like to come on and share my story, please get in touch with us. You can do it through the website, that's earthsealove.com, or you can do it through Instagram, which is earthsealove. But yeah, don't be shy, reach on out. And another thing that has been popping up recently has been my guiding word of the year. And I might have mentioned it before, but my guiding word of the year has been power. And talking about lockdown, during that period, there was a time that I was going out almost daily and searching for the colour purple, because I just needed some top up to my own power, and seeing purple in flowers was just doing it for me. It was, and I'd take some photographs, but I got really excited, and I don't know, a burst of energy, some kind of energy transmitted from those purple flowers to my soul, and made me feel so much better. I wasn't even sure what these flowers I was looking at were called. And that's another conversation that I've been having recently. Do we really need to know what objects are called out there in the natural world? If we gain such joy from the simple connection between them. I mean, you can still connect with other people and they don't know your name, right? They're connecting with you, who you are in that moment, whatever identity or person or personality you're bringing in that moment. So does it matter if they know your name or not? It's how you're showing up, isn't it, in the world? And I think that's how I've been thinking about these purple flowers. That back in my head, they're saying, really, you should know the names about them. And then there's the other one that's saying, really? Do you need to know the name? So that should and would and could. I hope you've enjoyed the episodes that have come out this month. I've enjoyed sharing them. I have indeed. And I hope you will continue to tune in till the end of the year. And then you can have a little break. Who knows what Christmas is going to be this year. But that's another conversation. See you in November. Take care and stay safe. Thanks for listening to the Earth, Sea, Love podcast. Bye for now.